Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Last Squatch. I wanted to film today's video outside, but the weather's not really cooperating. It's kind of windy and rainy, kind of a bleh day, and my neighbor is out there cutting wood, so I don't know how it would turn out. So I'm back in my basement, my dungeon, my sanctum sanctorum, and got a little bit of a different episode today, a little bit of a filler episode, some might say, or an episode that is full of useful information, others might say. Before I get started, I want to mention again that here, really quick, on May 24th, which is coming up really soon, I'm going to be at the big conference, the Bigfoot Investigative Group conference, put on by retired Navy SEAL Daniel Toth. That's going to be Saturday, May 24th at the Omni Interlaken Hotel in Broomfield, Colorado. I think we're going to have a really good time, and looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing the Rocky Mountains. I got to get me a video of me with the Rocky Mountains in the background and being like, that John Denver guy is full of it. But anyway, today we're going to talk about something a little different. Some of you guys like gear reviews and talking about stuff to take out in the field, and it seems to me, especially when it comes to like cryptid or Bigfoot investigations, when people do like gear stuff, it's always like cameras or FLIRs, thermal cameras, or audio recorders, or stuff like that. It's always like cryptid search gear. And something that really kind of seems to get overlooked a lot in that is clothing, equipment, stuff that you wear. And today I wanted to talk about something because I was out walking the dogs the other day, and this quote stuck in my mind. I wish I could remember where I heard it. I think it's been going around for a while, but it basically says, because I was thinking about getting some new shoes, it says, "Don't go cheap on anything that separates you from the ground." That includes shoes, tires, mattresses, tents, cots, things like that. So basically, anything that keeps you from coming in contact with the ground, don't cheap out on it. Don't go buy the cheapest you can. And I've kind of always, pretty much for the most part, I've kind of followed that. Typically, I'm more of a middle of the road guy. Usually, I don't buy like the most expensive, but I don't want the cheapest. So I'll usually go somewhere in the middle. But for shoes, I wanted to talk about basically the three kinds of shoes that I typically take out in the field with me when I go, and what I use them for, and the brands I have, and how they've treated me so far. And let's get into it. So the first shoe that I'm going to bring on, the first guest, is my Solomon Quest 4 hiking boots. Now, these, I think I've talked about them before in a couple other videos, but I basically picked these up because I heard such good things about the Solomons being used by special forces like the SEALs and the Army Special Forces guys, and wearing them on the ground in like Afghanistan, and that they did well in the mountains. And these are Gore-Tex, and they're waterproof, they're windproof. Uh, they're just really good all around boots. They're really like, they give you really good ankle support. And I've had these, oh geez, I got these probably in 2018, maybe. I might have got them before that. But I have to say, I track my hikes and stuff a lot of times with my fitness app when I go out, and I have these attached to my fitness app. And since I've been doing that, I don't remember to do it every single time, but the times that I've remembered to do it, I can look and see basically how many miles I've hiked with these. These particular shoes have at least, that's at least 80 miles on them hiking miles in Alaska, and so far they're doing pretty good. They've really held up. The only the only complaint that I have is, see right there, one of the little clips for the laces. These are the original laces. Broke off. I was pulling the laces tight one day and it just snapped off. The little rivet here, the plastic or whatever it's made out of, broke, and it would not go back on. I couldn't fix it. But so far, I mean, it's fine. I just reroute the lace. It makes it a little longer on one side, but hasn't caused me any major issues. Now, if another one breaks, then I will probably have to get rid of the shoe and start over again. But like I said, I've got 80 miles confirmed on these, and I know I have a lot more miles than that, um, because I bought these initially. They were just going to be hiking shoes, expedition shoes. I was just going to take them out when I went out in the woods, and they ended up basically turning into my daily wear, everyday shoes. So I wear these a lot. I wear them almost every day. I know I have the 80 confirmed miles on them, but actually, I probably have closer to a couple of, excuse me, a couple of 100 miles. It's not that I'm boring myself, it's that I have not had any caffeine today. But yeah, these are the Solomon 4D Gore-Tex hiking boots. And as far as price goes, they're a little spendy, but I think they're probably worth it. And I've heard that maybe the quality is not as good as it used to be. Like these were bought back, well, before 2020. And I've heard maybe the quality may have declined a little bit since then. But honestly, if when these finally kick the bucket, no pun intended, I will probably replace them with another exact pair. Um, I have no reason to doubt them. They've seen me through this much. I'm confident they will see me through a lot more. And when I get time to buy some new ones, I will probably buy the exact same pair or exact same boots, and we'll see how long those last. And if those fall apart prematurely on me, then I probably won't buy another pair of Solomon. But as of right now, I am firmly endorsing the Solomon brand. They're Alaska tough, and that's not a paid endorsement or sponsorship. It's just my personal experience with them. I will say they run a little big. Oh, excuse me, goodness. Um, I usually wear like a 10 and a half, and I think these are either 11s or 11s and a half, because I remember I was surprised at how big I had to buy them. But they're very comfortable. They fit very well. I've still got the original insoles in them, original laces. The tread, as you can see, is really holding up great. And I've worn them through a lot of really rough, treacherous terrain. And the fact that the little lace grommet there broke off while I was literally just tying them is actually a little funny, because of all the abuse and stuff I've put them through, and that's where how they broke. That's kind of funny, but yeah, they're great boots. I highly recommend them. The only downside to them is they are very well sealed and they do get very warm, so you can get the hot foot in them. Your feet will sweat. Um, but up here in Alaska, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I've taken them to the lower 48 and worn them before, and wish I had something a little bit more breathable. But I mean, that's one of the selling points on them, is that they are waterproof. So it is what it is. But those are my Solomon Quest 4D. They're Gore-Tex, great boots. I do recommend. A little pricey, but I think it's worth it. My next boot that I wear, being up here in Alaska, we've got a lot of marsh, we've got a lot of bog and water, and a lot of shoreline living here near the ocean, like I do. So I never know when I might be jumping into a boat and I'm going to have to uh, wade into the water a little bit. As you can see, like in the Port Chatham video we did, you got to jump in and out of the Zodiac, and sometimes you're not all the way up on the shore when the boat uh, hits land. So you got to get out and you got to wade through a little bit of water. And that's what I got these bad boys for. These are lacrosse boots, and they're still pretty dirty on the bottom side there. These are kind of like extra toughs boots, like you would see the fishermen wear, but they're lacrosse brand. And I have to say, these boots are waterproof. They do a really good job of keeping the water out. However, there is, if you look real close, there's a hole right there in the neoprene upper. That is not a failure of the boot. That is not the manufacturer's fault in any way. My puppy Arlo, when he was younger, he got a hold of them and chewed that hole in there. I absolutely, that's my fault. He should not have got a hold of the boots. Uh, I do not expect that type of material, that neoprene, to hold up to sharp puppy teeth or any animal for that matter. So if I get in water above my ankle, basically, I can get some water in there. But for the most part, these are still really good. They're waterproof. They're very warm, much like the problem with the Gore-Tex, or the Solomons. They are really well sealed and they get really warm. And I've been out hiking around in these and gotten back to camp or back to the cabin, like at Area A, and taken these things off, and it's like these things are soaked inside. So there's been a few times where I've had to leave them outside to dry out, or put them next to the fireplace to dry out, hang them upside. I do have a boot dryer upstairs. I've used that on them occasionally, but these can get uh, full of sweat. So you got to be careful when you're hiking out, especially in the summertime. But these are a great sealed work boot. I mean, I wear them all the time if I'm going out and it's raining or pouring, and I just wear them uh, when I think I'm going to be dealing with water. They're easy to slip on and slip off. That's one thing I didn't mention about the Solomons is when you put those things on, you put them on for the day. Like it's like strapping into the Iron Man armor. Like you're lacing those things up, pulling it tight, tightening them in there. Uh, those Solomon boots are on for the day to stay, and getting them on and off is can be a pain in the butt. Where these are just slip on, slip off boots. Pair them up with some really good thermal socks, and your feet are good and dry, and at least until you start sweating. But yeah, there's a couple of holes there, courtesy of the puppy Arlo. I don't hold lacrosse uh, liable for that at all. I think these are the Alpha Evolution boots. I'm not 100% sure. And I believe I picked these up. I don't know if they were on sale, or maybe they were running some kind of clearance event on them or something. But I remember thinking, I mean, they were like 150 bucks or something like that. And just out of curiosity to make this video, I looked them back up on the lacrosse website, and they're uh, retailing for like $300 now. So I did not pay $300 for those boots. I don't know if I would have paid $300 for a pair of boots. So I don't know. Maybe if you can find them on special or sale or something like that, maybe you might be able to pick some up. And like I said, they're totally like they do their job. They do what they're meant to do. They do not hold up to sharp teeth, animal teeth, which I wouldn't expect them to. Again, I think that was my fault that the dog got a hold of them. I should have put them up. When you have a puppy, they chew everything. But yeah, those are great boots. I would buy them again if given the opportunity. I don't know if I would pay $300 for them. If I could find them on sale, I probably would buy that pair again. Maybe if I can find them a little cheaper than $300. And they're great for wet weather work. You're going out in the rain. You're going out to fish. You're going out to cross streams or whatever. Highly recommend. Again, not a paid promotion, just my experience. Uh, Lacrosse footwear, and ironically enough, the second or the third pair and last pair that I want to talk about, they're also Lacrosse. Um, I take these with me when I go camping, and they're really great to have around the house. And that's these things. I can't remember what they're called, like Alpha Tundra or something like that. The label is long since faded away, but these are awesome camp shoes. I love to take these and put them right next to my tent or right inside my tent. That way, when I wake up in the morning, or if I have to get up in the middle of the night, I can just slip my feet in there, and I've got a good, nice, solid protected shoe. These things are waterproof, although they don't provide much cover above your ankle. But these are great just to slip on if you need to run out, use the bathroom, check out a noise, see what's going on. I wear them around the house when it's like, oh, okay, the dog wants to go out. Let's go take the dog out for a minute. Um, Especially in the summertime. Usually in the wintertime, I'll put on the high boots, depending on the snow level. But for the most part, like I'll wear these probably once a day. I've had these. I don't know how long I've had them. Several years, uh, but they're a good, solid like work shoe. If you just need to run outside and do some work, the slip on, slip off is super, super easy. It's got a little elastic in there, and I think that's neoprene, so you can slip them on, and just super comfortable. I still got the original insoles in them. Uh, love these. I can't stress enough how much of a great camp shoe these are. Just if you need to throw them on real quick. I wouldn't. I don't like to wear them around all day because they are really solid, really thick, and again, you can sweat in them, and your feet can get too hot. They don't breathe very well, but it's a trade off. Your feet are very well protected, and they're easy to get on and off. So you get a lot of convenience and a lot of workforce out of them. But yeah, these are Lacrosse. Oh, geez, I just had them up here on my browser. Alpha Muddy is what it's called. Alpha Muddy. And these also are a little bit more expensive than I remember them being. I think I might have got them on sale, or it was like a buy one, get one half off or something. And I just kind of bought them on a whim. And they've turned out to be like a super useful shoe that I wear all the time. And now I can't see myself without them. And I guess I'll give a honorable mention to what I have on right now. And some of you guys are going to make fun of me. You're going to lose respect for me. But it's just a pair of Crocs. And again, super great camp shoe. Just throw them on, go use the bathroom in the middle of the night, take the dog out, whatever you need to do. And I've had these for several years, and just kind of wear them around the house because I don't like to run around barefoot. But yeah, good camp shoe if you need one. A little pricey for what they are. I mean, I bet it doesn't cost but a couple of dollars probably to make. Probably not even that. And a good pair of Crocs will go for like $40, $50. Last time I looked at them, I really want to get a pair of those lined ones, the ones with like fleece or whatever on the inside. I really feel like those would be super comfortable and warm up here in Alaska. But I just can't bring myself to pay that much for a pair for a pair of slippers. Um, but I guess if you figure it out, like if you go through a pair of slippers like a year, if you probably if you buy those Crocs and they last you like 2 or 3 years, which I've had these longer than that, then I mean they'll pay for itself because you're not buying a pair of slippers every year. But anyway, guys, those are my recommendations as far as footwear goes. I'm really, I like hearing stories about gear that people buy, and especially if they buy it like on a whim or it was on sale, or just one of those stories where it's like, oh man, I needed some shoes. I ran into this store. I'd never heard of this brand. I picked them up and I've been wearing them for 30 years and I still have the same whatever, shoes or whatever. I love those kind of stories. I love hearing about uh, well crafted gear that just lasts forever and ever. It's always sad when you lose a piece of gear like that you've had forever, and it's just like tough gear and it just lasts and lasts, and then something it finally gives up, and you're not gonna get anything as good as that again. But yeah, those are my like three go-to shoes that I wear out in the field and camping, plus the honorable mention Crocs. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that gear review. I plan on doing some more, but I thought I'd just talk about shoes real quick today because I didn't really have a video plan, and I knew the weather was kind of crappy today. I didn't want to get out in it, uh, and I thought, man, I'm going to talk about shoes because I had that quote in my head about never go cheap on anything that separates you from the ground. So hopefully that will help some of you guys out and making a decision for your gear. Let me know what kind of gear, as far as footwear, you guys are sporting right now. Let me know what kind of gear you think is Alaska tough. And maybe the next time I need some, I'll pick it up and test it up here in the wilds of Alaska. But anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. And I don't know if there's going to be a video next week or not because I'm going to be preparing to go to Colorado, and hopefully I'll get something in Colorado to throw up for you guys. I know I'm terrible at like recording stuff when I'm traveling. Um, I didn't really do anything for Monster Fest, and I talked about it when I got back. So I will try to get a few minutes of video while I'm on the ground in Colorado, and put it up for you guys. At least maybe when I get back, I won't be able to do it while I'm traveling. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you guys are subscribed or think you're subscribed, be sure and check because I was looking at my numbers the other day and there was like a few, it dropped a couple of numbers. And usually, like, one is like, okay, well, maybe somebody like wasn't enjoying the videos and they left. But more than one, I hear other creators talk about checking your subscription lists occasionally to make sure that subscriptions aren't getting removed. So yeah, just give it a check and make sure you're still subscribed. And if you're not, please resubscribe. I don't know why they would do that. I'm not certainly not controversial in any way. I mostly hear gun tubers talk about that where they lose subscribers. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.